Hello, I'm still in Killamarsh. Just behind me there is the old Killamarsh station on the Great Central Railway. It's the old track bed down there for the Great Central. Now, I covered this station in my last Sheffield Lost Stations episode, episode 3. But there's 2 more stations in Killamarsh, and we're going to go and have a look at those now. Or should I say, we're going to have a look at what's not left of those stations now, because although the sites are still there, there's not a lot of evidence. But we'll go down and talk a little bit about the former or the lost stations. Here's those 3 stations, all in close proximity to each other, just to the west of the village. So we've done Killamarsh Central, and today we're going to have a look at Upperthorpe and Killamarsh West. So just leaving the old Great Central station via the footbridge onto Station Road. I'll show you how we get to this other lost station of Killamarsh. So this will be the second out of the 3 stations we're walking up to now, and it was Upperthorpe and Killamarsh station was its title. And here is Station Road. So just walking up this steep little ramp at the end of Station Road, and there's Field Lane. So it says no through road, but that was the approach to the station that we're making our way to now. But we're not going that way, we're making our way down towards the track bed. To get to that, we've got to jump onto the former towpath of the Chesterfield Canal. So that's what we're walking on right now. We're walking on an old canal towpath. You never know, would you? I have done other videos on that, obviously. You can find them in my back catalogue on the YouTube channel. So while we are walking up to this next station down the old canal towpath, what is just essentially a muddy footpath now, there was 3 lines through Killamarsh: the Great Central Railway, where we just started, then there was the Midland Railway, the other side, and then there was this railway. This would be the easterly most line that through Killamarsh. And this was the Lancashire, Derbyshire and East Coast Railway. Again, I'll say this a few times, I've done videos on this before. I've covered this station as part of a wider video where I walked a section of this disused railway line. Sorry if you think I'm waffling, I'm just trying to set the picture before we get there. And here is our disused line now. It's crossing over the top of us. So this is crossing over, this is the bridge over what would have been the Chesterfield Canal, which can actually see now the old canal cut in there. So that's the old bridge there, not in great condition, quite poor. So we're going to go and get up on that track bed now. It is a public footpath, I'm not trespassing, I'm not going anywhere that I shouldn't. It's just up this little opening here, this footpath. Duck under this tree. There we go, no problems. And up this muddy slope onto the track bed. And here is said track bed. So as I say, this was the Lancashire, Derbyshire and East Coast Railway, which later became the Great Central Railway. It was bought out by the Great Central Railway, and then obviously became the London North Eastern Railway, like we saw with the other one. So let's just have a quick look at this bridge. There we go, it's been stood underneath there. So before we get down to the station side, which isn't very far down this footpath, just a quick rundown of the history. So this one, Upperthorpe in Killamarsh, opened in 1898. Again, I'm having to just check some facts on it. I should know this really, I've done enough videos around it. So just a correction, it was opened as Killamarsh. So it didn't get renamed as Upperthorpe in Killamarsh till 1907. So we had multiple stations, all with the same name, Killamarsh. Didn't last very long. Passenger services didn't even make it as far as the Second World War. So the station didn't last as long as the Great Central station, and there's not as much evidence of the station remaining because of that. But the actual line itself, this section of line that we're walking on at the moment, did last actually longer than the Great Central Railway, just slightly over in that direction. And that's because this section of line, just from Beighton, just a mile or so behind me there, this was still used to access the Westhorpe Colliery as far as the entrance to Spinkill Tunnel. I can't remember the date that it was the tracks were down for. I shouldn't really know, I've done it before. Sorry if the footage is coming out a bit cloudy. I've got some kind of condensation on the inside of the lens that I just don't seem to be able to get rid of. But we're stood on the entrance now, or on the track bed, on the approach from the northern side of that Upperthorpe and Killamarsh station. So we are in a cutting, quite mature trees either side of us now, but as you can see, it's quite obvious this isn't as a trodden path as we saw on the Great Central Railway, which is the Transpennine Trail. This is just a back path really. But we're walking through now where would have been the platforms either side. Yeah, we can see the bridge straight in front there. So that's the road that I pointed out when we were walking up Field Lane. But I have been up there, and you can't really, there's not really a lot to show you from the bridge, if I'm being honest. Now, we do see this is unfortunately the subject of quite a bit of fly tipping down here. Every time I come, there seems to be more and more rubbish, a lot of it tossed over from the gardens that neighbour the railway. There's the bridge. There's the bridge over. Swing you around, looking back through the station. So the only really thing that's left of the station is the old station. I think it's the station master's house, just on the top there, but it's kind of well set back. Can't really get close to it to get any decent footage. But somebody set these out just to let you come through the path, just so it's a bit out of the mud. So that's the track bed looking southeasty way towards Spinkill, and onwards through Clown, Creswell, onto Shirebrook, and I suppose ultimately towards Lincoln. But just on the south end, or just at the southern end of the station, I'm gonna show you this. I don't know if it's going to be overgrown or not, but I'll show you the old photograph. You can see that signal box in the background. And here's a recess that the signal box would have sat. So right here is where that signal box would have been. Long gone now. Obviously I don't know when that was taken down. Guessing it would have been ultimately when the railway closed. That's walking back under the bridge. So 3 arches there. The old Upperthorpe and Killamarsh station was featured in the Railway magazine in 1990. It was the location of the Rother Valley Railway, a railway society that was trying to set up a length of line through Killamarsh. And I'll zoom in on some of these screenshots. I hope they're legible. If you can just pause and you can have a read. And this is that same spot we've just been stood in. 3 chaps from the railway company there, just putting some sleepers down, ready for some points. It's a bit of a blurry photo, but you can make out that signal box recess there. As I understand it, some of the Rother Valley Railway members ended up being part of the Cleethorpes Coast Light Railway, which ironically in the early 90s, when I was a young teenager, I actually did a stint of volunteering on the Cleethorpes Coast Light Railway. if you're into your disused railways, this is an absolutely fantastic section of disused line from Beighton, from Rother Valley down to Spinkill. So much stuff, so much left in the undergrowth, bridges, viaducts in various states of repair. Well worth a visit. So that's Upperthorpe in Killamarsh. So that's the second of 3 stations in Killamarsh. I did tell you there wasn't a lot to see, didn't I? Now the third station, I can tell you there's even less to see, and that's well, I'll refer to it as Killamarsh West, and it was the old station on the Midland Railway. So we'll head over there. We'll head over there now. But that's the other side of the Great Central, so we've got to cross back over or under the Great Central Railway, depending on which way we go. So still on our way down towards that other station, Killamarsh West. Just jumped down onto the Great Central through the old Great Central station again, and we're just taking a shortcut down the old track bed. And then just turning off the Transpennine Trail down on the Two Bridges Greenway down towards Halfway. Shows how much rain we've had. There's more water down here than in Ladybar Reservoir. So we are going to be alongside of a main road now, so it might get a bit noisier, but we are on a separate little path look that they've made just to cross the river on these 2 narrow bridges coming out of Killamarsh towards Halfway. There's the river Rother. Okay, so we're just approaching the railway line. Now this is the Midland Old Road, that route between Chesterfield and Rotherham, or Sheffield. And this is a new bridge, obviously, the footpath, but there's the line down there, and there's the original bridge there. We've got an arch on the other side with a doorway going in there. I wonder what that's for. It's no great way to get a look at that, because this bridge is pretty high. Let's have a look at this side. Can't really see from down here either, to be honest. Now, I don't know, so obviously that's the road. The station was on this side. Oh, it's really hard to get a good vantage point, but there's nothing to see. No remains of any platforms, and we can't get anywhere near it anyway. Look, it's quite a busy freight line, that. But the station, 2 platforms would have been there, but I did say there wasn't really anything to show you, but I thought it's just worth bringing you to the site just for a look. So here's the site of the station, just to the south of Station Road. We can see what looks to be narrow platforms in the cut-in there, and also we've got a station approach just on the left-hand side. I'll try putting you over the top of this bridge, actually, if I can reach. Just to the right hand side of the station, this was the Holbrook colliery site, just down here, and we have got a little something interesting here. I'll just show you. That's the disused railway bridge for one of the lines, disused lines, into the Holbrook colliery, just down there. Again, just a quick headline of the dates. So, opened in 1841, so this is the oldest Killamarsh station. Again, it opened as Killamarsh. It closed in 1843 after 2 years, but then reopened again in 1873. And it looks like in 1950 there was some kind of renaming of all the remaining Killamarsh stations, because this one was renamed Killamarsh West at the same time that Killamarsh Central was renamed. But 4 years later it closed, 1954. So small town of Killamarsh went from having 3 railway stations to no railway stations in the space of just over 20 years. And just as I walk away, as a freight train goes past, literally missed it by 15 seconds there. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look at the 3 stations of Killamarsh over those 2 videos. Got more of Sheffield's lost railway stations to come as well. Got a few I'm going to be visiting shortly, so keep an eye out for those. So as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. I can't do this without you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.